Hello, and welcome to the Agenda and Meeting Minutes training. My name is Courtney Laukitis. I am the Program Manager to Student Organizations in the Office for Student Involvement and Leadership. You are completing this training as a part of the SORT process, which was just rolled out a few days ago. SORT stands for Student Organization Registration and Training. And while I designed the new process, I really wanted to keep in mind different officer roles and some of the tasks or responsibilities that they may be in charge of, which for your sake as the secretary may be the agenda and meeting minutes. So we're going to dive into some examples. We'll go over an activity and all that good stuff. The SORT trainings are all provided on Engage. There's a form attached to every single one of them to count for your attendance. So if you're taking one of the in-person trainings or if you're doing an online training, please be mindful that there is a form to count for your attendance, and all forms are due by 8 p.m. on May 20th at this time. If you have additional questions about that, please let me know. If you have any challenges or anything like that, you can always email me at sort@wright.edu. That's SORT@wright.edu. So some housekeeping items. This obviously is a pre-recorded video. You're probably watching this on YouTube. So you are welcome to have a side-by-side screen with your form and with your video to watch the presentation, or if you would like to just listen to the content that I'm providing, that is also completely fine. You can start and stop this recording at any time. You can rewind and fast forward. There may be a couple of times where I ask you to specifically pause the video so that you can complete the activity, just so that you can have that time and kind of follow through with the steps there. And then the last thing that I want to provide to you is that when you see a title page for the next section of the presentation, that will indicate that you can click to the next page in the form. So just be mindful of that. If I start talking about things that aren't available on the page that you're looking at, I'm maybe on the next one and just forgot to mention it. So I think that's all for now. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so overview. We're going to focus on 4 quick things here. What an agenda is, what meeting minutes are, where you can house your documents, and then completing an activity. So what is an agenda? You should be starting on page 3 of your form by now. And if you utilize Google like I do, that thing is my absolute best friend, and you Google what is an agenda, you will be given the definition of a list of items to be discussed at a formal meeting. Now, on your form, you'll see there that there is a section for you to describe what an agenda is. So what does an agenda mean to you? How would you define this? And then I'll talk through a little bit more things while you're working on that. So the purpose of an agenda really is twofold. It is to organize and guide the meeting to discuss business, but it's also to determine discussion points or how you want to make your decisions. The other thing that comes a lot of the times with agendas is Robert's Rules of Order. I know that faculty and staff senate use it on campus, and SGA also uses it. You as an organization are not required to use it, but it is a handy tool if you ever want to freshen up on it. It's a very fancy way of conducting your meeting. There are very specific ways of how that is done with asking for motions and seconding things, new and old business, how you take roll and how you vote on everything. It's just a very logistical thing. So if you are interested in learning more about it, I'm happy to help you. But if you also have no interest in using it and you just going through the agenda is working for you, that is also perfectly acceptable. I just want to provide that quick piece of information for you. Okay, so agenda examples. Now, I, again, use my best friend Google here. So these are some screenshots of some different agenda templates, but you can design the agenda however you would like. Having the meeting title, maybe having a date and the start and end time, where your location is at, where who's attending the meeting. So that could be helpful if you're having an executive board meeting or maybe a committee meeting or a general body meeting. And then your agenda is basically just going to focus on the items that you're going to discuss. If you need to talk about things that you have had in the past, you can go ahead and do that. Or if you need to talk about things that are brand new to the table, that would be called new business, or maybe you just put it at, the first or the last thing to talk about on your agenda. But it's just a formalized document using, numbers, bullet points, bold, underline, however you want to do it. And these are just some quick examples of how to do that. And you can also Google agenda templates if you're ever interested in getting that. Okay, so what are meeting minutes? Again, you can write your own definition here of how you would want to define meeting minutes. But if you use Google, the definition is protocols or notes of the meeting records. So let's say that you are trying to decide if you want to do a fundraiser and you take a vote to do a specific fundraiser, you would want to record what that final decision is in your meeting minutes. The purpose of the meeting minutes, and I do apologize, this word is not correct on my screen here, of an organization. Your purpose of meeting minutes is to provide historical context as to what has been decided and discussed. It also helps transition the process in the officers so that we can look back on old decisions and old information. And then it also acts as a snapshot as to what is being accomplished in the semester or in a year term. Okay, so meeting minute examples, you can do it however you would like. These are two great examples where you use more of like a grid, or you could just basically write out in paragraphs or, in line items there. Again, totally up to your decision because it is your organization, it is your task. But I just wanted to provide a couple different opportunities here to see some different options of how you can best organize some of your meeting minutes. So, okay, housing the document. So, you should be on page 5 by now, I believe. And there is information at the top of your page there to provide some directions in case you aren't watching the presentation. But the documents tab on Engage is the best place for you to house your documents. So what I would like you to do is log on to Engage, www.wright.edu/engage. Go ahead, sign in, find your organization, and then click the Manage Organization button, and that will take you to your landing page where you'll see that hamburger menu. It's the 3-line menu on the right or the left-hand side, left-hand side of the page, and go ahead and click on Documents. So that documents folder, that tab, is essential to the organization for providing historical context or transitional items to the next officers into the organization. So what you can do, and your task that I want you to do, is I want you to create 2 folders on your Engage profile. Please note, I will be catching and searching for all this sort of stuff, so I will know if you have done it or not. I ask that you please do this just because it's beneficial to your organization and to your role. If you don't use them, that's totally fine, but I'd rather have them there now than be disorganized later. So go ahead and click on the Add Folder button, and you can type in Fall 2021 Agenda and create that. And then you can do the same thing for meeting minutes. Now, with the permissions, the public permissions means that anybody in the entire world who has the link to your folder, they are able to view that public folder. Okay, so public is literally everyone. Now, organization roster permission, if you would prefer to have that as a permission for the folder, you are welcome to do that. All that means is that any member in your organization can go in and view that document tab to check out the meeting minutes and all that sort of stuff. So just 2 quick things there. There are also attached template files for you to download and include in those folders. So go ahead and download those template files. You can save them and rename them if you would like, and then you can click the Add File button to the individual folder and upload that item there. So whenever it comes to uploading agenda and meeting minutes, I would highly suggest that you are uploading the agenda before the meeting. So if you have a meeting every Tuesday at 3 o'clock, maybe you should, have a goal of uploading that agenda by 12 o'clock on every Tuesday or every Monday. But those should be done beforehand. And then your meeting minutes are the opposite. They would be provided afterward. So of course, to have meeting minutes, you have to have the meeting. And then you can just type in however you want to utilize the template or however you want to take notes. And then you would want to upload those after the fact. So there's just two things about housing the documents. You're going to create the folder. You're going to upload the agenda template. And then you can select permissions if you would like to both of those folders and to the file. Okay. So, an activity. Once you've uploaded everything, you can go on to this next page. We are going to have you do a mock agenda and a mock meeting minutes. So I'm going to describe both of them. You can then pause the video and work on them and then complete the rest of it later. The last page of the presentation is not there's nothing required there, but we will have you download the template and then you will complete the activity based on the instructions, and then you will upload that as an example, just to kind of get you in the practice of things, just in case you've never written an agenda before or never created one. I want to provide you with the opportunity to practice that. So activity 1, you'll see there's a hyperlink to downloading your agenda template. There are two options there. There's a regular agenda and then there's a Robert's Rules of Order agenda. So pick whatever one you would like. And I want you to pretend that you are preparing for a general body meeting. Go ahead and fill in the blanks for creating your agenda. When you've completed the agenda, save your file to your desktop and then upload it to the file upload box at the bottom of this page. There are 3 things that I want you to include at some point in your agenda. I need you to write that you're appointing a new committee member. You can decide who that committee member is. You can write their name. You could not. You could write whatever you want, but you need to include appointing a new committee member. There needs to be some sort of documentation that you are providing a progress report for the upcoming involvement fair. Again, whatever that means to you. And then the last item that needs to be put on the agenda is a group activity on building leadership skills. So if you want to name a specific activity, that's great. And if not, that's also fine, just as long as you have that information in there. So creating your agenda, you're going to download it. You're going to put in the items to include on your agenda template here, and then you'll download or you'll save that file to your desktop and upload it. So if you want to stop your video here, you're welcome to. I'm going to take just a few second pause, and then I'm going to move on to the meeting minute activity on the next page, okay? Okay, activity number 2. We're going to focus on creating meeting minutes. So go ahead and download your meeting minute template. You are going to pretend that you're participating in a general body meeting, and again, fill in the boxes for creating your meeting minutes. I can't say those words, meeting minutes. Again, whenever you're completed with everything, you'll save the file to your desktop and upload it to the training form at the bottom of this page. The decisions that you need to include on your meeting minutes template is you are making a final decision on the designs for a t-shirt for an upcoming event on campus. You are taking volunteers to decide who will participate in the upcoming involvement fair. And someone asked to discuss an upcoming fundraisers at next week's meeting. So however you feel is necessary to write in those documentations is totally up to you. Again, what you put into this is what you're going to get out of it. So if you just put in, quick things, you may not get the best practice. But if you're making final decisions, you really could say final decisions on making t-shirts. T-shirt design is created by, Shania Twain, and the cost per shirt is $15, payment due by April 3rd. Just different documentations like that. It's really your opportunity to practice and to get some ideas. And so I hope that you have fun with both of those activities. So once you're done, you're gonna save your file to your desktop. You can save it however you would like, and then you'll just upload it to the training form there. Okay, and then the last page here, so you can enter in any questions if you have any. Because this presentation is provided online, you may have questions that you're concerned about for the future, and you can just write those questions in there, and then I will respond to you via email later. But once you're done with both of your activities and all the questions have been answered in your form, you can go ahead and click submit. If you have any challenges with your training at any point, you can email me at sort@right.edu. That's my preferred email for all of the trainings. sort@right.edu, SORT@right.edu. And then I, of course, have some virtual office hours. If you ever need to pop into my WebEx room and talk about some things, we can share screens and we can go over some of the tasks and everything like that. But I really hope that this was informative to you, and I hope that you're able to utilize some of the templates for your meetings in the next academic year and in the next semester. So thank you so much for attending. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon.